Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. We got a doozy for you today. Thunder Junction cards have been leaked. Yeah, it looks like somebody got a pre-release pack and opened it. Who could that be? Wizard. Ghost. Anyway, we've got some cards that are with some sus pictures, but hey, I can probably read them. So, before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. It keeps the channel sponsor free. It doesn't cost you anything. You want to throw a couple dollars my way, there's links in the description on different ways to do that. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of the wild new cards in Thunder Junction. We're going to start off today with Salvalia Eager Trailblazer. Looks like it is a black, green, and 2/4/5 legendary creature elf scout. Notice the stamping, i.e., came from a pre-release pack. Has vigilance. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 at the end of turn. Activate only the sorcery. Also has tap. Choose a color. Add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control. As a mythic, this is absurd. 4 mana, 4/5 with vigilance. Plus, it taps to make mana. Plus, when you cast a creature spell, it makes a 1/1 red mercenary. This thing is going to be a powerhouse in the set. And yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of play. Next, we have Malcolm the Eyes. Hey, old Malcolm's back. Red and blue for this 2/2 flying haste. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. Not too shabby, I do say so myself. Pretty cool card for red-blue, 2/2, flying, haste. Lets you get some stuff to draw cards. Seems good. Then we have Honorary Tumblewag. I guess it's like a tumbleweed but with legs. So Brushwag Mount, green and 2 for a 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Wow, now it's not just a white thing, now it's a green thing. When it attacks, while saddled, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. Saddle 2. All right. Tap any number of other creatures you control with power 2 or more. This mount becomes saddled until end of turn. Saddle only as a sorcery. Wow. So now we have creatures that operate as equipment but have abilities. So this is going to be very, very interesting. I mean, with that being said, unless I'm reading this wrong, it makes this card seems like it's really powerful. All right, moving on. Next, we have Villainous Wealth. Oh, that's a reprint from the set blue, green, black X. Target opponent exiles top X of his cards. You can cast a number of the cards, mana value X or less, or among the ones not paying their mana cost. Yada yada yada. Cool card, like the new art, but it's just a reprint of a dollar bin card. Next, we have Savage Smash reprint. Very nice. This is a goodie but an oldie. A green, red, and 1 target creature you control gets +2/+2 to the end of turn, and it fights. This is going to be great for limited as a reprint, and it's probably going to see a whole lot of action. Next, we have Detention Sphere reprint. Hello. So this is probably one of the best removal spells we've had in the past. Blue, white, and 1. It enters the battlefield. You exile a non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere, and all the other permanents with the same name as it. Won't be that great and limited, even though it is a removal spell for 3, making it good enough. But in a construction format, it is amazing. Moving on, next we have at knife point, red, black, and 1 enchantment. As long as it's your turn, outlaws you control have first strike. Outlaws are apparently assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. Okay? Whenever you commit a crime, create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with tap. Target creature control gets +1/+0 in a turn. Activate only as a sorcery. This ability triggers once each turn. So, still haven't seen anything yet about what committing a crime looks like. Hopefully we'll see something in one of these cards. Next, we have Lava Spur Boots. 1 colorless equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has haste and ward 1, equip 1. Wow, so another kind of lightning greaves, which will probably find its way into many commander decks. Ward 1's not a lot, but sometimes haste is just enough. So we'll see how it plays out. Moving on, we have Neutralize the Guards, a black and 2. Instant creature target opponent controls gets -1/-1 at the end of turn, and you surveil 2. So that's probably okay for limited. I mean, it is a -1/-1 across all creatures as an instant, so it could really do you some good as a combat trick. But moving on, we have the Canyon Crab. I hate it when we have crabs. Blue and 1 for an 0/5. It gets +2/-2 to the end of turn for blue and 1, which means at least it can attack and do damage. At the beginning of your instep, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, draw a card, then discard a card. That is sweet. Now, granted, you don't cast anything, you got to take your turn off, but in decks where everything's an instant, you play on your opponent's turn, the ability to Merfolk Looter through your deck and still have an 0/5 blocker seems pretty good. Next, we have Intrepid Stablemaster, 1 green and 1 for a 2/2 with reach. It's a mana dork, taps for a green, or tap, add 2 mana of any one color, spend the mana only to cast mount or vehicle spells. That seems like a pretty good mana dork, I'm not going to lie. Next, we have Mage Bane Lizard, red and 1 for a 1/4. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, the lizard deals damage to that player equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. So the first one will do 1 to them, second one will do 2, so forth and so on. Seems like a decent card. I mean, it is a 1/4 for 2, so in limited, it's probably going to see some play. Next, we have the Wanted Griffin, white and 3 for a 3/2 flyer. Not a bad rate. When it dies, you create a 1/1 red mercenary with the normal ability. This seems like a good card for limited. I mean, 4 mana 3/2 flyer is sweet. When it dies, you get a 1/1 you can block with or do something else with, so seems fine. We have Stop Cold, blue and 3. Flash spell, enchant artifact or creature. When it enters the battlefield, tap the permanent. Enchant permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's step. This is kind of like the Tameo one, exact same mana too. This is going to be pretty good in Commander, I'm not even going to lie. And honestly, in Limited, it is removable. Next, we have Spring Splasher, a blue and 1 for a 2/1. Whenever it attacks, target creature defending player controls gets -3/-0 till end of turn. In Limited, this is a huge deal. Being able to attack and neuter your opponent's battlefield so they can't block well is amazing. Now, it is a 2/1, so it does get killed easily if you have 2 creatures. But a couple of combat tricks, and this thing can get out of hand real quick. Next, we have the Rooftop Assassin. Ugh, good lord. Black and 3 for a 2/2 flying with lifelink, and it has flash, so 4 mana flash lifelinking flyer is not bad. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. Also a good ability. Good for limited. I don't see it being that bad. Next, we have Raven of Fell Omens, black and 1 for this 1/2 flyer. Whenever you commit a crime, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. This ability only triggers once each turn. Targeting opponents, anything they control or cards in their library, in their graveyards is a... Okay, so basically what it's saying here is targeting opponents, anything they control, and or cards in their graveyards is a crime. So, targeting your opponent, period, is considered a crime. So, you bolt your opponent, you've committed a crime, they lose a life, you gain a life. So now we know what committing a crime is. So, that's good to know. Next, we have Reckless Lackey, 1 red, 1/2, first strike and haste. Hello. Red and 2, sacrifice Lackey, draw a card, and create a treasure. This will be going in all the red rush decks. This thing looks too good. Goblin Pirate too. Next, we have the Deadeye Duelist, red and 1 for a 1/3 with reach. For 1 and tapping it deals 1 damage to target opponent. Fine, I guess. We have Erable Wolverine. I can't say that. I'm too tired. Red and 2 for a 3/2. Good rate. When it enters the battlefield, exile top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. That makes it really good as a common. Now, plot, red and 2. You may pay the card for a red and 2 and exile this card from your hand. Okay, you may pay the red and 2, exile a card from your hand, cast it as a sorcery on a later turn without paying its mana cost, plot only as a sorcery. Oh, that's really cool. So if you know that playing it on turn 3 is going to cause you to, exile a card you can't play that turn, on turn 3 you can plot this card into exile. On turn 4, untap all. On turn 4, untap your 3 land. Get your 4th land or not, and don't play your land. Play this for free. If you flip over a land, put that land into play. If you don't, you can then put a land into play and then play that card this turn. That's a real cool ability. I think plot's going to be kind of neat. Next, we have Rodeo Pyromancers. That just sounds wrong on so many levels. Red and 3 for a 3/4. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, add 2 red. I mean, it sounds cool. Really, it does. But it only happens once on your first spell. Each turn, it's only 2 red. This thing's a 3/4. It costs 4. I mean, it'll be fine and limited. Next, we have Bristle Pack Sentry. Green and 1 for a 3/3 Defender. It's fine. As long as you control a creature power 4 or greater, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. We've seen these before. They're good and limited. That's about it. Rover Grizzly. Green and 2 for a 4/2. When it attacks while saddled, creatures you control gain trampled in the turn. Saddles for 1. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's a 4/2 for 3. It's whatever. Cool that it saddles. We have the Ankle Biter. Oh, God, I love it. 1 green, 1/1, Death Touch. Ankle Biter Snake. So funny, I'm not even laughing. I'm being honest. I'm giggling on the inside like a little kid. Next, we have some lands. They all seem to do the exact same thing for the most part. Well, at least these two. This looks like the common land cycle. They're deserts. Kind of cool. So deserts are back. The inner battlefield tap, deal 1 damage to an opponent. They tap for 2 colors, mana, so we'll have 5 of those probably. Then we have the Conduit Pylons, which is also a desert. Enters the battlefield, you surveil 1. Taps for a colorless, but for 1 attack, you get 1 mana of any color. Another common land. Not a bad start to the land cycle, not gonna lie. Seems pretty cool. So we'll go with that. And with that said, that is all of the quote-unquote leaks that we have today. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. It looks interesting. I like some of the abilities. I like plot. I like the whole criminal thing. It kind of makes me wonder. Well, I mean, if you don't have something out there that works off of committing a crime, it doesn't really do anything, I guess, if you bolt your opponent in the face. So it's okay. Yeah. Till next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table, partner.